Okay, so it seems our moderator has joined. I'll introduce him so that we can kickstart today's session. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. So the facilitator for today is Prince Domenyo. Prince Domenyo is a passionate advocate for youth empowerment, leadership, education, and personal development. With a first class degree in political studies from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology here in Kumasi. He has dedicated his then to driving impact through research, policy advocacy, and social initiatives. As the founder and executive director of the Bwaunia Initiative, a youth led non-profit, he leads efforts to empower young people through education and skills development, impacting over 2,000 individuals through mentorship training and support programs. He also serves as the lead consultant at PEDEX Educational Consult, where they equip young professionals and students with the right tools to excel in their careers and academics. At PEDEX, he leads efforts in professional and academic writing, CV and cover letter, writing and graduate school application support, career coaching, and professional development training, helping individuals position themselves for local and international opportunities. He has held several leadership roles, including head of the KNUST SRC Academic Board, leading academic advocacy for over 80,000 students. He served as the president of the Political Science Students Association, representing 1,500 plus students on KNUST campus. So he was a campus ambassador and lead for Lead Ghana, bridging students with transformative leadership opportunities. He's also a board member, Democracy Without Borders, Ghana advocates advancing democratic participation in Ghana. Okay, so currently he serves as a research and teaching assistant at KNUST Department of History and Political Studies, where he contributes to academic development and mentorship. His mission is simple, that is to serve, lead, and inspire. He is committed to empowering young minds, championing leadership, and creating opportunities for growth. So, Mr. Prince will be facilitating on building your unique e profile. Mr. Prince, you're welcome.
Hello, Francis. Good
Welcome to
evening.
Access 2.08 edition.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction and good evening once again to everyone on the call. I believe that wherever you are joining us from, you are doing well. I understand we have people joining from other countries as well. And I acknowledge that. Just like Francis introduced, that's my name, Prince Domenyo. And those are basically some of the things I've been working on so far. And I know there are other young people who are also doing much just as I'm doing. And today's session will be one that will be helpful in any capacity that you find yourself in whatever you are doing. Um, we are going to look at building your unique profile, right? So just imagine that whatever Francis has read should be what you have as your profile. How are people going to see that when you are not there? How are they going to access that when you are not there to introduce yourself? So that is what we are going to do. But before we start the business of today, I would like us to do a quick search online. Just search your name on Google and let's see what will appear. And when you are done, just in one or two lines, share in the comments what you have seen online. I'll share my screen and then also search my name so that we all see what comes up when people search our names online. So I'm doing that quickly. Let me share my screen. Um, okay, so my screen is here. Friends, the menu. Yeah, so that is it. This is what comes up when I search my phone. You can see that I've taken almost all the pages can see my name coming up. Let me make it more specific. Who is Prince Dominion? Good. Right. So there's a feature that the AI will give an overview of who you are. You can also utilize that to see what AI will say about you. Okay. Um, because I will not share mine in the comment section, let me read what is here. I hope you can also see. Prince Dominion is a passionate advocate for youth empowerment, leadership, education, and personal development. The first class degree in political studies from the Commonwealth University of Science and Technology. He's also a research and teaching assistant at KNUST. He's active on social media platforms like X and Facebook. He has been involved in various university activities, including the academic board of KNUST. I will not read further, but I believe that whatever Francis has read is not different from what you see online when you type my name. That is basically what we are coming to do today. That when people know you as maybe Francis, maybe you are Seriam, maybe you are Bosway, maybe you are called Elisha, or whatever your name is, when people search your name online, they should be able to see who you are, not so different from when they meet you and you introduce yourself, or you go to engagements and then they introduce you. So we are going to look at how to build your unique e-portfolio. Let me see if you can just type in the comment section what you see when you type your name, what came up in the search when you type your name, so that we see how you are appearing online. So that by the end of the session, you can know if you have work to do or you are already visible and you are doing a lot online, that we wouldn't have to do so much about that, right? Great. Um, it is very important for everyone to have an e-profile, and this is why you need an e-profile. Whether you are into tech, whether you are just a student, whether you are a young professional, whether you are already in the job market, wherever you find yourself, it is very important for you to have a good representation online, because today people are not going to meet you before they get to know you. They are interested in knowing what the internet says about you even before they meet you. That is why you have to be very intentional about what you put online and how you represent yourself. Because imagine you are a business person, you are doing a business, or imagine you are a student leader. You are very good. When people meet you, they get the best impression that they look forward to. But when they go online, what they see is not exactly what they see when they meet you. Then you realize that you are having conflicting individuals. So Nelson Awembik, I'm trying to pronounce your name, was that Amwak, appears to be a student at Comic University of Science and Technology in Ghana. He holds multiple roles, including student marketer, ALS fellow, and deputy financial secretary for College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Great. He's also involved in other student organizations like the Bulisa Student Union. Right. So that is Nelson's search appearances when he did a search. You may also have different things. Some of you don't even get to see your name. So you have someone with the same name who is appearing. And that is why we are coming to have this session, to see how you can best represent yourself online. So I'll share my screen and then we start. This is going to be a very engaging session. I'll give you a chance to ask questions and I'll try as much as possible to be practical so that at the end of the session you can go and do most of the things I will share with you here on your own, right? Um, all right, so building your unique e-profile. And this is what we'll be looking at. I'll be taking you through understanding the basics of an e-profile. I mean, why should you have an e-profile? You can just be any other person living your life low key. So, what is the necessity of having an e-profile? We'll look at that as well. Creating a personal portfolio. Those who are into tech, who are into creative designs, or even just any individual, how you can have your portfolio online. We also look at that. Then utilizing the power of LinkedIn for success. I'm sure most of you here are on LinkedIn, but the question is, how are you using LinkedIn to your advantage? We're also going to look at that. Then finally, we'll look at understanding the basics of a personal brand. The moment you begin to build an e-profile, the moment you begin to create a personal portfolio and you start utilizing the power of LinkedIn, then you are putting your personal brand out there. So it is very important for you to also understand the basics of a personal brand, what it involves, and how you can build a better one for yourself. That is what we are going to look at today. Now, what is an e-profile? When we talk about an e-profile, we are talking about your digital identity, right? A reflection of who you are, what you stand for, and what you do or what you can do. So when people go online to search your name, they are expecting to see who you are, what you stand for, and what you can do. Now, if I do a personal assessment, I can say that before I came to KNUST, when you search my name online, you wouldn't see so much information about me than now, right? Because the moment I came to KNUST, I've intentionally built a very good e-profile for myself. That's the moment you just search Prince Domenu, every information from videos to articles to posts and all that will appear. And that is what we mean when we say you are building a digital identity, where people do not have to meet you in person to see who you are or what you stand for. By just a click, they can get to know who you are. It includes your online presence as well, and this includes your LinkedIn, your personal website, portfolios, and all that. And we are going to look at how all these things come into forming your digital identity. And finally, an e-profile showcases your skills, experiences, values, and aspirations. If you have a very good e-profile, you should be able to tell people what you can do. So, what skills do you have? Like Nelson said, is an ALS fellow. And what it means is that probably he has taken a course with ALS and all that. It should show the kind of skills that you have so that if someone is looking for someone to work with or work for, they can just cross check your name and then see who you are. Your experiences. When Francis was reading my introduction, he mentioned that I was the head of the Student Academic Board for KNUST. And when you search online, you see the same thing. And that is my experience in student leadership and advocacy. And it is not different from who I am. And my aspirations, definitely, when you look through all that I've been doing so far online, no one will tell you that maybe one day I'll become a big man. You get it? So it is basically you putting yourself out there and then telling people who you are, what you stand for, and what you can do. That is what an e-profile means. Now, why must you have a profile? Because when you are having conversation with some young people, they will tell you that okay, I don't use Snap, I don't use Instagram, I don't use as for LinkedIn, most people say because of the way people post and all that, it is intimidating. So they don't use it and all those things. So there are people who are doing so much, but they don't put themselves online, right? There are people who are also not doing so much, but they have the fear of putting themselves online so that, okay, I don't have anything doing. So why should I be on LinkedIn? Let me just be on WhatsApp so that I can be testing my friends and all that. Now, why must you have an e-profile? One, employers now search for candidates online before making decisions. If you are in school now, what you should know is that by the time you graduate and you are applying for a job, when you submit your CV, they may even go online and search who you are. So who is this person? What does he post online? Is the person having values that align with our business? And how can we work with this person? It is not only employers. Even now, when you are applying for visa, they go online and check all that you are doing, all the activities you are doing. In the case of America, they want to be sure you are not a terrorist. They want to be sure you are not posting stuff that are in support of their enemies. Do you understand? So it is very important for you to have a very good e-profile so that whether it is an employer, whether it's a visa officer, whether it is your colleagues or whoever wants to check your identity online, the person will not be surprised, right? And secondly, a strong e-profile increases your visibility and credibility. If I should ask you who is Edward Asari, I'm sure most of you will say something about him because he's always online. He's been posting about what he's doing and all that. If I ask you about Anita Eskin, you will definitely know something about that strong and wonderful woman. If I ask you about Bellamundi and all those people who are digital creators, you have something to say about them because they have increased their visibility online so much that whatever they are doing on the ground or in their offices or wherever they find themselves, you can have a feel of it online. And it does not only end at the visibility aspect, it goes on to show that you have expertise in whatever you are sharing, right? If today we are looking for content creators, right? We are looking for people to speak on branding, we are looking for people to speak on blogging. I'm sure most of you will suggest before Wudimaya or Ameya Odebra, right? Because their presence online has increased their credibility to the extent that no other name comes to mind when we are looking for the best YouTuber in Ghana than Wudimaya, because he has built his credibility in that space. That even if you have not met him before, you know that Wudimaya is one of the best YouTubers we have in the country and even in Africa. And that is what e-profile does to you. And thirdly, it helps you control your personal narrative. Okay, when you begin to build your personal brand, there's something we call perception, and it is so important that you need to shape it. Now, we have an e-profile. One of the things that you'll be doing is that you'll be controlling your personal narrative because you are not going to post anything that comes to your mind. You are not going to create any content that you feel like creating, but you are going to intentionally do whatever you have to do to control your personal narrative. Okay, so let me give you an example. When you go online, okay, even without meeting certain people, you can sit in the comfort of your house and say that this person is a bad person, right? Let me give you a very clear example. When you compare Shatawale and Sako there, in an argument of who is loudest online, I'm sure you choose Shatawale because he is always online, he's making his case, he's telling you what he feels should be done. But on the other hand, although they are in the same industry, Sako there barely posts online, talk about other artists, or say something that is not in line with what other artists are doing, right? So one could be shaping or controlling their personal narrative, and the other could also be saying what they feel like saying, right? So the reason why you should have an e-profile is to make sure that you are very appealing to employers, you are increasing your visibility and credibility, and you are controlling your personal narrative so that people will know you for who you are online and offline, right? Great. Then you have to have an e-profile because when it comes to online and digital first impression, your e-profile is the first thing that people will see. Okay, I'm sure I don't know how many of you have gone to search about me before I even started the presentation. So what I normally do when I'm going for a webinar or workshop, I go on to read about the speaker who is coming so that I can ask personalized questions and all that. So if you have done that, it means that my e-profile would have helped you to see who I am and what I stand for, right? And a well-crafted profile creates trust and curiosity. Now, if you have gone to search Prince Domino before this webinar, I'm sure you would have made up your mind whether I am fit to share what I'm coming to share or I'm just coming to lie to you, right? Because my e-profile will tell you whether I have expertise in branding and then e-profile conversations or not. But I'm sure on the other hand, it has been able to inform you on who I am and whether you can trust me to deliver on this presentation. That is what we call the digital first impression. And let me give you a personalized experience. Most of the times I get text messages and then DMs and all that, people asking me, how did you get on this? How were you able to be on TV and all that? I don't even call. You'll be there and then they'll call you. Okay, I've gone to your profile and I realize you are doing amazing things. We want you to come and speak on this topic. Okay, all right, we view your profile and we see what you are doing. Will you be available to speak here? So most of the time, even when I'm sleeping, my digital profile is telling people who I am and what I can do. So by the time I wake up, they pick up their phones and they reach out to me. That is why you should be very intentional about the kind of profile you create online. Because some of you, the opposite is that you are doing so many things, like brilliant things. You are working here, you are a public speaker, you are doing excellently. But when you go online, some of your accounts do not even have profile pictures. So it is very conflicting to believe that you are actually doing the things that you say you are doing, right? So that is why you create an e-profile to create a better digital first impression. Okay. Now, before I move on to the other slides, when you read about yourself online, right, today by the help of AI, you can be narrated or you can be told who you are by just asking online or just a Google search. You can search who is this, and then they will tell you. What story does your digital presence tell about you? Okay, we'll move on, but I want you to be thinking about that. That when I search myself online, do I get the same story telling people who I am? Does my online presence talk to people about who I am and what I stand for? It is very important for you to establish that because there are lots of people that will never meet you, but just by your online presence, they will form perceptions about you, whether it is good or bad, and that's what they will carry. So be thinking about how your digital presence tell a story about you and see if it represents who you are. Now, what are the core elements of a strong e-profile? I've mentioned why you should have an e-profile. I've mentioned why it is important, what e-profile is. Now, if you want to embark on a journey of creating your e-profile, what are the things that you should consider or should be marked as elements of a strong e-profile? The first thing is for you to have a professional and consistent profile photo, right? When you go online and you search Prince Dominion, you are going to see that black and white portrait on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I have other nice pictures that I could use, but on all platforms, you are going to see that black and white portrait, right? And that is a professional and consistent profile photo on all platforms. Now, what it means is that when I'm searching for you on Facebook and I go on to X to see the same name with the same profile picture, then I can follow you there because I realized that, okay, yeah, this is Prince Dominion. I saw him on Facebook with the same picture and he's here too. By imagining the Prince Dominion on Facebook is having the black and white profile picture, the one on X is having a picture with glasses on, the one on LinkedIn is having a picture with maybe hijab or whatever that I will put on. You will be asking yourself which of these accounts belongs to the original Prince Dominion. So you will now be finding it difficult to either follow me or unfollow me because you cannot trust my identity on all platforms. That is why it is important that elements of a strong e-profile is a professional and consistent profile photo. If you don't have it after this session, take a nice picture of yourself, use Canva or whatever to remove the background nicely, And then make sure you have the same profile photo on all social media platforms if you are interested in building a strong e-profile. And secondly, a compelling bio or summary. Now, when you search online and you ask who is this person, AI will have to now run a search through your social media accounts to see what you are saying about yourself and then give an overview of that to any other person who search about you, right? So if you are a tech guy, if you are a graduate, if you are now in school, if you are doing national service, and you know what you are doing, then you should be able to say that in your summary or in your bio on Facebook, on X, or whatever, right? And that shows that you know who you are, you know what you are doing, you know the skills you have, and you are selling yourself out to other people. When we get to LinkedIn, I'll show you a sample of how a summary or a bio looks like, and then you can be able to craft one for yourself. And thirdly, the third element of a strong e-profile is when you have a clear listing of skills and achievements, right? It is not just enough for you to have the profile, the online, and all that, but you should be able to list at least 5 skills that you are good at, right? So when you go on my profile, public speaking, policy and advocacy, research and analysis, all these are skills that I've learned over the years, and they are all there. Personal development, coaching, and all that are skills that I've learned. Now I've listed them so that when you are looking for me, you don't just see pictures and posts, but you'll be able to identify the kind of skills that I have and my achievements, right? I'm sure when Francis was reading my summary or my profile, he mentioned that I was advocating for over 80,000 students. Now, when you are the student head of academics for KNUST, where your duty is to advocate for KNUST students, then you could just imagine the number of students you are advocating for. And that is approximately over 80,000 students. And that's an achievement for me. So I've listed it there for you to know that as head of the academic board for KNUST, Student Academic Board, this is the number of people I was advocating for. Now, when you have a strong e-profile, one of the elements that people will see is endorsements, recommendations, and portfolios, right? So when you go on LinkedIn, for instance, there is a section where people can endorse you. So when I say I'm a public speaker, someone who understands and knows me can go on LinkedIn and endorse that particular skill that yes, indeed, Prince Dominio is a public speaker. Any other person that I've worked with or worked for can write recommendations for me online on LinkedIn to show that yes, indeed, I've done this, I've done that, and I've done this, and or I have these skills that I can work with, right? And my portfolio, you get to where I will show you how you can create a portfolio online so that people will just click on a link and then everything about you will be there. So everything about e-profile to have all these 4 elements. There are more, but the core elements to be your photo, which is consistent on all social media platforms, a bio telling something about you. You know, because there are some people who do not know what exactly to say about themselves. When you go on Instagram, they tell you, okay, lifestyle and travel enthusiast, this and that. When you go on Facebook, they'll say just having fun. You know, when you go on LinkedIn, then they'll say, oh, I'm a graduate, this and this and this. When you go on TikTok, they'll say there's something that they mostly say likes, and I think don't spam likes and all those things, right? You don't have a consistent information about yourself. Whatever you are, you should have that consistency on all social media platforms so that when people are reading about you, they can know that this person knows what he's doing and you have a strong e profile, right? So those are the core elements of a strong e profile. Now, depending on who you are or where you find yourself, there are different types of e profiles that you should have, right? When I'm talking about e profile, I'm not just limiting it to social media platforms. Do you understand? Social media platform is just one of the e-profiles. You can have a website as an e-profile. You can have a blog as an e-profile. And so, depending on where you find yourself, these are the different types of e-profile or the profiles for the different fields. Now, if you are in tech, right? If you are a tech guy and you want to build an e-profile, you cannot build that on Facebook. You cannot do that on maybe Instagram, right? Where people can see the various projects that you have worked on, where people can see reviews from other people. No. So mostly if you are a tech guy, then you should be interested in building an e-profile on GitHub, right? That is where most of the tech guys have their e-profile. So when you go on there, anything you see there is about tech. So you'll be able to showcase your projects and all those things that you have been working on. I will switch to another screen and show you how it looks like, and we'll just glance through it and then we'll move on to the next one. And then the Behance tool is also for those who are interested in graphic design, those of you who are the creatives over here, or you are now looking forward to learning about graphic design. When you are done, you create a profile there and then see how it looks like. So let me close this screen, share another screen with you so that you can see how it looks like. So this is for the Behance. This is how it looks like. I want to be sure if you can see my screen. Yeah. So this is it. This is Samson. For those of you who know Pedes Consult, he is the one who worked on our logos for us and the brand identity, right? So this is his profile on Behance. This is what he's doing. You can see his name. He's available for freelance and full time. He's a logo and brand identity designer. Okay, someone said we can't see. Can anyone confirm if my screen is showing? Okay, let me see. I want to be sure everyone is seeing, right? So let me stop sharing for now and share it again. All right, so this is what I'm sharing with you. This is someone's e-profile on Behance. The person is a graphic designer. So I was saying that for those of you who know my consult, FedEx Educational Consult, he was the one who worked on our logo designs and brand identity for us. Now, this is his profile online, right? When you check him out on Facebook and other platforms, you see his name all right and the designs he's doing. But when you come to this platform where he has built a very good e-profile, you can see his availability. So available for freelance and full time. He's a logo and brand identity designer. He's in Accra, right? And these are his services: logo and brand identity from $1,000 and above, logo design from $500 and above, flyer and poster from $100 and above. So you can see all the projects he has worked on. Let me show you the one he worked on for me and my team. So this is the person's profile. Without even contacting the person, I can see whether he is a good designer or not. And this is all that he did for us when we contacted him to work on our design for us. You get it? So the e-profile that I'm talking about is not just you having an Instagram account or having a Facebook account. Those of them, those accounts are also good, but depending on where you find yourself, you need to have a profile that represents you and what you do, right? So that is what I'm talking about. Now, let's look at for those who are into tech, the tech guys too. This is the GitHub I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, so this is how it looks like when you create an account. Over here, you can be able to showcase your tech project, the codes you'll be working on, and all that. So it's to build some of the most advanced technologies in the world. That's what they are. This is how it also looks like. So depending on what you are doing, you need to have an e-profile that represents that to show people all that's great, to show people all you are doing and how it fits into you being a person. So I don't want you to just limit yourself and now ask yourself, okay, I'm into tech, I'm into graphic design. How can I show my work to people on Facebook and all that? There are platforms that you can use to show your work regardless of whatever you are doing. These are some of the examples of those platforms. Now let's go back to the presentation. Good. So if you are business person, a corporate type of business person for that matter, you can also use LinkedIn or have a personal blog where you are sharing stuff about yourself, you are writing what you are doing with testimonials and all those things. Or if you're into arts, you can use Instagram or have a portfolio website to showcase all that you are doing. So depending on where you find yourself, like I said, you can have different kind of e-profiles that you can use to showcase what you are doing. Now, creating a personal portfolio, which is very important, which is one of the themes of what we are doing today. You can be on Facebook, you can be on TikTok, you can be on Instagram or wherever. But when it comes to building a portfolio, what it means is that you are having a site, let me use the word site basically, that people can reach and see what you are doing. Like I've shown you, there is a platform where when they click on it, they can see everything about you, right? So you can use a platform like Wix, WordPress, Notion, and GitHub, as I mentioned, to showcase all these things that you are doing. And it can also help you to have your bio section there, your summary about yourself, your resume, and all that you are doing. So when you see from the side, this is a sample portfolio. You can see what I do, what I use. The person is showing you the website and all that. So let's go to get social media, some idea about my work. That is basically how personal portfolio is like. So it makes it more easy for people to navigate and see what you are doing, right? That is one important thing you should take note of, so that you don't ask yourself that, oh, I'm not the type that posts all the time, right? I'm not the type that shares stuff on social media. So how can I show people what I'm doing? I don't want the fear of showing up on social media all the time prevent you from showing people the work that you are doing. So take note that aside the other popular social media platform, you can use Wix. Let me even show you how the Wix looks like. Um, so if you don't have enough money to afford a website, you can just use Wix or WordPress, which can give you free templates to design your portfolio website, right? So this is Wix. Create website without limits. This is their interface, and then you can see they have templates for whatever you want to create. If it's about your business, they can give you free templates. If it's about your portfolio, they can give you templates that you can use for free. I mean, for the meantime, you can be making use of the free version to do all those things. Because the most important thing about your portfolio is that you should just show people who you are, what you do, your expertise, what the project you have worked on, and give people the chance to do what, give you testimonials and all that, so that when someone wants your service, the person can go and read about your ratings, whether you are good or you are not good. So if you see here, they have a portfolio that you can showcase your work and attract new clients with an online portfolio. So when you go on Wix after this session, you can click here and create one account for yourself. It is very important. Even if you are not into tech or design, or you are a public speaker, you are a social media manager, if you have a portfolio, that is the most important thing. If you have something that people can go through and see all that you are doing to create your digital impression. So that is it about the software, sorry, the website and the apps you can use to create your personal portfolio. Now, great. Now we are moving on to utilizing the power of LinkedIn for your success, right? Today, LinkedIn is standing out to be one of the best platforms when it comes to knowing people professionally, understanding what they do, and then what they stand for. So on that platform, you will see people posting about their work, their weekly recaps, the conferences they've attended, and all the amazing things that they are doing. It helps other people to also connect with them and know how these people are performing in their industries. So LinkedIn is the most powerful professional platform today. It is only on that platform where you can see the professional aspects of people. It allows you to network, search for jobs, and build a professional brand around yourself and all that. It also helps you to be visible or project your brand to be discoverable among other people. That is why it is very important for every young person to have LinkedIn. That is one thing important. If you are not going to be on Facebook, because I mean, people say that Facebook today is for old people. If you are not going to be on TikTok because you cannot be uploading videos all the time, you won't be on Instagram because the pressure of quality of pictures and all that is intimidating. Please be on LinkedIn. Okay. Now let me share a personal experience with you. I joined LinkedIn I think about 5 or 6 years ago, and most of my connections that I have today are from LinkedIn, right? So people will text you, oh, I saw your profile on LinkedIn and I want to connect, or I saw your profile on LinkedIn and I want you to come and speak at this program, or I saw your profile, and all these things. And even on my side, there are people I reach out to when I need clarity or information on certain things. There are people I've connected with on LinkedIn that are helping me in my professional journey. And you can also do the same, right? Because if someone is a professional data analyst, it is difficult for the person to say that or to show that on other platforms, like how they will do on LinkedIn. So when you're on LinkedIn, you can see what actually people are working on, right? That is why it is very important for you to use that platform for your success. Now, how do you build a compelling LinkedIn profile, right? Because it is one thing to have an account, it is another thing to have a compelling profile or a very optimized LinkedIn account. So you start with a high quality profile photo, right? So on LinkedIn, you don't just post any picture as your profile photo. You need to have a high quality one. If not the highest form of quality, a picture that can show your face. That is the most important thing. You need to write a headline that highlights your unique value. I'll show you my profile and how all these things are showing over there. Then you use a summary to share your story and aspirations and list relevant experiences, right? So let me show you my profile, then we'll take a practical look at what I'm saying. Good. So over here, this is my profile. Now, when you come here, you can see my banner showing that I am speaking to group of young people. And then this is the profile picture, right? So this is the professional profile picture I'm talking about. The consistency here is that all my social media platforms they have the same black and white profile picture. Now, when you come down here where we have the header, you can see my name and what I'm doing. So I'm a research and teaching assistant at KNUST. I also run a nonprofit that is called Brownia Initiative, and I'm the founder and executive director. I am interested in research, right? Even though I didn't say I'm interested in research, but when you see research here, it means that I'm interested in research. I'm also interested in policy and advocacy. I'm interested in leadership, and that's what I've been doing so far. I'm also interested in youth engagement, any opportunity where we need to have conversation on how young people can get into spaces. I'm interested in that. And finally, I am working to empower young people to maximize their potential. Now, if you are looking for someone to follow and you come across my profile, I am sure that after reading all these things, you definitely follow me, especially when our interests align. That is why it is very important for you to optimize your LinkedIn account. If you don't have a picture like this speaking to a crowd, you can just design a very nice banner using Canva. When you go to Canva, you just type LinkedIn banner. You get templates to edit with your picture. The most important thing is that your banner should be showing who you are and what you do, right? So if I say I'm empowering young people to maximize their potential, and you see my banner speaking to young people, you are convinced. I don't need to write it here, but you can connect the dot and understand, right? So this is the banner, and then this is the profile picture. This is my name, and this is the header showing all that I'm doing. Now, when you move down here, we have the about section, okay, where you write everything about you professionally, right? Or this is not where I just want to make it clear that this is not where you tell people you know how to play football and all that, or your hobby is dancing and all that. I mean, depending on the kind of profile you want to build, you can mention it. But if you want to build a professional profile like I've done, then you need to go straight to the point and tell people what you are doing or who you are. Now, the introduction that Francis read is captured here. Everything that he read is here. From the rules I've heard, my membership of the Democracy Without Borders Ghana board, and then my campus ambassador role that I led. Everything is here. So when you read about me here, you get to know who I am, what I'm doing, and what my aspirations are, right? Now, I've also listed my skills aside from all other things that I do. You can see my top skills over here, right? So when you're optimizing your account, you should be able to identify the skills that you possess. So if you are a public speaker, it should be here. So public speaking and communication, I'm sure you can see it here. There is leadership and strategic planning here, research and policy advocacy. You can also see it. Personal development and coaching, like I'm doing now, showing you all these things. That is my skill, right? And then project management and execution. I've organized workshops and events and all that. So it's one of the things that I'm also good at. So top five skills is what you are seeing here. So when you come to my profile or when you view my profile, no one will tell you what I can do, but you see it for yourself. Now, away from that, I want to show you the key things before the other ones. So down to your experience, right? Your LinkedIn can be your virtual CV where everything that you have done is listed here, right? So currently I'm the editor for Tech Connect, that's the alumni newsletter. So you can see it here. And then when you click on see more, this is what I do. I write and edit articles, reports, and features. You can see evidence here that that's my picture there with my name. And this is the editorial board, and she is the general secretary for the Alumni Global Network. So you cannot tell me that I'm lying because I've added evidence to show you that this is what I'm doing, right? And there's also an evidence of the newsletter. When you click on this, you can see a link to Google Drive showing you all that we have done. Away from that, CEO for FedEx Educational Consult, it is also here. This is what we are doing and all that. If you are building or you are optimizing your LinkedIn account, you should be able to list all this in. I mean, you might not be a CEO or an editor for any newsletter, but whatever you are doing should be listed here. Maybe you want to do internship, right, in a firm for 2 months, 3 months. That is your experience. So you should be able to list it here for people to know that, oh, okay, this individual has done internship in this firm and has acquired these skills that is able to offer to any other firm that will need his service. So you can see for the newsletter, I have a skill in Google Workspace, newsletter production. When you come here to resume writing, strategic leadership, and all that, now research assistant and all those things. So it is this session of the LinkedIn where you write all your experiences. Now, this is the thing. Some of you have the experiences all right, but when we read it, we cannot identify what exactly you are doing or you have done in those capacities. Do you get it? So when you go, someone will just write here research and teaching assistant, Common University of Science and Technology. That's all. The difference here is that when you read my profile, you'll be able to see that I organize and facilitate tutorials for undergraduate course in African political systems, political parties and interest groups, and foreign policy analysis, catering to an average of over 500 students per semester. My first year class alone, there are about 1,400. So if I just give you an approximation of 500, you should not be surprised, right? So the difference between a LinkedIn account and optimized LinkedIn account is that the optimized one provide further clarity and details about the person and the experiences. Do you get it? So you might be having the research and teaching assistant all right, but it is not optimized until you're able to provide the details of what you are doing. That is the difference. Okay. So if you have after this session, go and ask yourself, what am I doing as social media marketer? What am I doing as a virtual assistant? What am I doing as an administrative assistant? Then you write it there so that when people read your profile, they can see what you are doing. Away from the experience, we move on to education. This is where you list all the education that you have. Okay. This is not where you list your short courses. So maybe you have taken a course on Coursera. So you want to come and add it to education. Yes, it's a form of education, but it is not a recognized institutional form of education. Those are online short courses, right? So far I have a first degree. So my latest or my most recent education is coming from University of Science and Technology, where I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in political studies. And that is it. Now, you can see that I've optimized it to the extent that I'm telling you that when I was in school, I was the head of the academic board for KNUST SLC. I was the presidential aspirant for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences Student Association, KNUST. I was a member of the KNUST Debate Society. I was the president for the Political Science Student Association and the PRO for Political Science Student Association president. Do you get it? So I didn't just state that I attended KNUST and I have a bachelor's degree in political studies, but I've also added all the relevant activities and societies that I've joined. And you can see it here. And the skills I've gained from this experience or education. Now, to my senior high, I attended Wolverine Senior High Technical School in the Volta region. I was also the senior school prefect. You can see it here. I was a member of the school debate club, and I was also the member of the school news team. All these things are listed here. Now, from education, you come to licenses and certification. This is where you enter all the courses you are taking on Coursera, Udemy, or any online course. This is where you enter it. Now, when you create a fresh LinkedIn account or a Virgin LinkedIn account, you may not have all these sessions. So you come here where they have pointed the mouse. We have add profile session. So if your LinkedIn account is not having licenses and certifications, when you go and look for add profile session so that you can add that session to your profile. Then when you are done, then you enter all the short courses that you have taken, their certificates and everything. So you can see I took a course in digital tools for skills in research training, and it's also here from KNUST Learning Center. I also did a course in brand management, aligning business and brand behavior from University of London. It's also here with the certificate, and that one is there. Now, for most of you who are in school, where you don't have a lot of experiences and internship to show, but you are volunteering for organizations and all that, you can add a session for volunteering where you can add some of these things. So when you check, even though I'm a board member for Democracy Without Ghana's Ghana chapter, it's not a paid experience or paid role. So I'm just volunteering as a board member. So it's not part of my experience, but it's under this session as a volunteer for Democracy Without Borders Ghana chapter, even as a board member, right? So if you know which of your experiences are volunteer experiences and which of them are paid experiences, okay? Then I was also the head of communication for DSC 2024. That's an environmental digital sustainability experience conference that we had last year. Okay, and you can see other experiences as well. All of them are added with their description. That is what differentiates an optimized account from a normal one. I was the planning committee member for e-learning international conference 2024, and you can see a picture of me with the VC and then the director of the e-learning center here and all the committee members. It's an evidence, and it is building on my credibility. That is one thing about having an e-profile. When you go and you see and you read through my profile and I'm telling you that I was the planning committee member for e-learning international conference, you might doubt it that how can a young boy like you be a central planning committee member? But there's a picture there with myself and other committee members. That gives the credibility to what I am saying. And you will not doubt it, you believe. Because I mean there's evidence. I'm showing working, right? Now this is what I spoke about. Recommendations. When you get to this session, you can see other people saying that, oh, I had the pleasure of working with Prince Dominion as a head of content at Smooth Network, and all the things that the person said. It is telling other people who I am, how I was able to work in that capacity and all that. When you have an optimized LinkedIn account, you can reach out to people to send you recommendation. You know, if you know me and I also know you, after this session, you can reach out to me for recommendations and I'll recommend you. You see my name and all that I've written about you on your profile when I accept to give you a recommendation. Okay. I've done a couple of publications and you can also see it there. I've been honored for awards. You can see outstanding department leader, finalist, and all that. You might not have all these things, like I said, but make sure that you go to add sessions and then you add all the sessions that you don't have. So this is how an optimized LinkedIn account looks like. So ladies and gentlemen, after this session, go and assess your account, see if there are things you need to add, there are things you need to take out, then you do that. Okay. So that when people go out there to look at what you are doing, you can be seen, it can be recognized. Okay. Now back to the slide. And I believe that you are following. I'll give you the chance to ask questions, and if there's something you are not clear with, I will explain it to you before we leave here because I want to make sure that by the time we are done with this session, you can also go out there and project yourself to attract opportunities that will come your way. Now, another challenge that most people face on LinkedIn is how to grow their network. So you can see there are people who have been on LinkedIn for at least 4 years, but they have 500 connections, they have 300, 400 followers, and all that. When you are on LinkedIn, one thing that you should take note of is what are your interests. Okay, try and identify the interests that you have so that you can follow people with similar interests. Okay, so the first thing to grow your network on LinkedIn is to follow industry leaders. So if you are passionate about tech, then you should be following people on LinkedIn who are into tech, right? That means that you are going to grow your LinkedIn. And one thing that LinkedIn will do is that when you follow someone into tech, they will suggest other people who are also into tech so that you can follow them. If you are into leadership and coaching, public speaking, you can follow people who are into public speaking on LinkedIn. Then LinkedIn will show you other similar accounts to follow. Okay. After you have done that, the next thing you should also be doing is to engage with posts and communities. Once you have the LinkedIn account, you see people sharing their stories and all that, sharing this and all that. Be intentional about how you comment and then engage with their posts. Okay. Mostly you see people typing, oh, congratulations, worth attending, and all that. Those are automated, right? But if you see something that resonates with you, like it matches your interest and your passion, you can just write a very personalized comment. What it means is that when you engage with a LinkedIn post, the platform is structured in a way that people who are not following you will notice your comment and then follow you. Okay, so don't be selfish on the platform, or don't be a ghost on the platform. Make sure that you are liking, you are commenting, you are reposting whatever other people who share your interest are sharing. Then through that, the platform will also make you visible to their mutuals and other people to connect with. And the last one is reach out to reach out with personalized messages. This one, let me share my screen and show you something. Um, okay. It is important. Some of you, it is difficult for you to reach out to people on LinkedIn because of maybe fear or the approach. One thing that people say is that the Gen Zs, we don't know how to communicate. I don't want to believe that. So let me show you some of the ways that you can reach out to people on LinkedIn. Okay. So over here, let me. I want to show you one email as how do you call it? Message I sent to someone for demonstration sake, right? Let me show you my inbox. Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Okay, right. So last week, Saturday, I had a webinar, and then one of the speakers, I was also a speaker, right? One of the speakers of the webinar was this woman. I'm showing you for demonstration sake. Let me see if I can. Okay, so right. So she was one of the speakers as well. I was also a speaker. But immediately after the meeting or the webinar, I reached out to her and I was like, hello, Miss Lydia. It's an honor to be on the same panel with you today. I have learned a lot from your experiences. I look forward to staying in touch with you on future opportunities and collaborations. Right? And then she replied and said, hello, Prince. Thank you for reaching out to me. It was great listening to you while you shared your experiences on this topic. I actually checked your profile and you are doing amazing. I look forward to collaborate with you as well on future projects and more. I love your passion. I'm also a staff. I'm also at UG as a staff, so we have experience in the educational space. That is it, right? So don't go and send hi and expect a reply. Don't go and send hi, I like your profile, I like your comment, and that's just all. You have to be intentional about what you are sending to the people, right? If not, you'll be on LinkedIn and you hear people saying that I've gotten a job on LinkedIn, and you'll be doubting it that, why are you lying? I've been on LinkedIn for 4 years, I've not gotten a job. Do you get it? But this woman says that
we share the same experience because she's a staff at the University of Ghana and she loves what I'm doing. And she's even looking forward to future opportunities and collaborations. So if tomorrow she calls me and say, Prince, come and speak at the University of Ghana, and I come there and I tell you that I got this opportunity on LinkedIn, you doubt it because you'll be like, how come? But it is the approach. Even though we're all speakers on the same panel, I was the first person to reach out to her and it was positive. So my point is that when you are on LinkedIn, reaching out to people should be very intentional. You should know what to send and then who to send it to. Okay. So if you are a social media manager and you want to reach out to Edward Asari, you should be able to reach out to him on things that you both share in common. Maybe you just saw one of his posts and then you like the fact that he emphasized on how important social media is. You can just based on that and reach out to him. Hi, Edward, my name is my name is this and that. I'm also a social media marketer. I read your post and I was interested in knowing the key things you highlighted about how social media is very important in today's marketing world, and I want to connect with you to learn more. Now, when he's going through his messages, he may skip all the hello, hi, say, I want you to help me and all that, and read yours because you are intentional about how you approach him and what you mention. Do you get it? So that is it when you are connecting with people on LinkedIn. You should not just send a hi, hello, and then you go back. Of course, you can use AI for your portfolio, okay? If maybe you don't know what to write about yourself, you don't know what to put in your bio section, you can just ask chat, my name is this, I'm this and that. I want you to craft or help me come up with this. But the point is that at the end of the day, you should be able to refine it so that you don't sound like you are too superficial and you are trying to be someone else. It should be a true representation of who you are. That's the most important thing. So you can use AI to create your portfolio. It's not a bad thing to do. Now back to our slide. I'm sure in the next few minutes should be wrapping up. So that's how you reach out with personalized messages. Make sure you are reaching out with a message that connects with the person, and you'll be able to have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. Then we are moving on to personal branding or understanding the basics of personal branding. When it comes to personal branding, it goes beyond your e-profile. It goes beyond what you post on social media. It is a whole composition about who you are, right? Whether people meet you online or they meet you in person. Your personal brand or your brand is what sets you apart from other people. So now, when we are talking about personal branding, the basic thing you should know is that it should be about your strength, your values, and target audience. When we talk about your strength, we are talking about the things you can do. Okay? So if you are not a CEO, like we have on LinkedIn, there are lots of people who are CEO. Today, if I say I'm a CEO, I'm not a multi-million company CEO. I'm not running any big firm, but at least I've employed 5 people that I'm working with. So I can say I'm a CEO, and that is the only title that defines what I'm doing, right? But if you don't have a startup, you don't run any company, and then you are saying you are a CEO, then that is not your strength. You are just trying to be someone you are not, okay? Now your values. Your values are the things that you believe in, your belief system. So if you are a person of integrity, if you are a person of credibility, if you have a very good value system, it should be seen in your personal brand, then your target audience. So before you even start building your personal brand online and offline, you should ask yourself, who are the people I am presenting this brand to? Okay? Shatawale and Jackie Appiah, they are all in the same industry. but they are appealing to different target audience because they know who they are reaching out to at the end of the day. So they are in the same industry but doing different things. So you should know who you want to reach out to as a brand. Then secondly, define what sets you apart from others. If you want to be the best virtual assistant and you want to build a brand as a virtual assistant, what is it? What is your unique selling point that will set you apart from other people? So you should be able to identify that and build on that so that when we are looking through all the virtual assistants on LinkedIn, we will see you and be like, no, there's something different about this person. So we want to work with you, right? I will answer the questions. I want us to finish with the slides, then we'll come back to the questions. Then the last thing, you should be consistent across platforms and content. This is the most important part of building a personal brand. Okay, so let me be practical with this so that you get the understanding. You have a LinkedIn account, right? You have a LinkedIn account, you have a Facebook account, you have an X account, you have a TikTok account. The point about being consistent across all platforms means that whatever you are saying on Facebook is the same thing you are saying on X, you are saying on LinkedIn, you are saying on TikTok and Instagram. So that today we will not see you praising porn on X, and on Facebook you are telling us that we should be holy, and on LinkedIn you are telling us that sensitive content should not be appreciated. Do you understand? So your consistency across platforms and content means that whatever you are posting on one platform or whatever voice you are having on one platform, you should have it across, you know. But you see, as young people, there is this idea we have that, okay, you know, me on Snap, this is how I am, you know, on Snap, I do this, I do that. Then on Facebook, oh, Facebook, when I go to church and I take pictures, that's where I post it. Then on X, when they are looking for people to insult political parties, that's where they will see you. Then you are there. On LinkedIn, when we are when we are looking for people to tell us, I am excited to join this conference and all that, then you are there. That is not a consistent personal branding. Do you get it? If we are talking about consistency, it should be saying the same thing across all platforms. So these are the basis of personal branding you should know. Once you're able to know this, you are good to go, right? When you check Prince Domino today, whatever I'm saying on Facebook is the same thing I'm saying on X, I'm saying on TikTok, I'm saying on Instagram, I'm saying on LinkedIn. So when I share content, I share the same thing on all platforms. The same way when you look at your favorite celebrities, whatever they are sharing on Facebook is the same thing they are sharing on X, wherever. And that is what makes their brand very unique. Okay, so you should take note of that. Now, crafting your digital story. I've explained why you should have an e-profile, some of the platforms you can use to have an e-profile, the power of having a LinkedIn, and personal branding. Now, how do you keep telling people stories that they can relate to, right? Because one of the difficulties that I know most people have is they have the account all right, but they don't know what to be sharing. So someone will tell you, you know, I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't know what to share. So I just go there to see what other people are sharing and I'm done. Today, I want to show you some of the things you can also be sharing so that you can build your account and then have a good e-profile. One, your story makes you relatable and memorable, right? So whatever you are doing, maybe understanding of something, maybe your work environment, how it gives you flexibility and all that, you can share it with other people because that is your story. When you share it and it connects with someone, then that person becomes a follower. because you are sharing what resonates with the person and connect with the person, and people will remember you for that. When you look at Edward Asare, for example, most of his posts on LinkedIn or on all social media platforms is either about his junior high school experience, his university experience, his work environment experience. And that is what his audience are relating to. And you could also do the same thing, right? Then share your journey, what you have learned and what you are building. I want to challenge you. By the time I am done with this presentation, or even by the time we are done with this training, go on LinkedIn, Facebook, and share what you have learned from all the days. Okay? Go to LinkedIn. Oh, today I've joined a session on how to build your unique e-profile, and I've learned this and all that and all that. So you are sharing your journey, what you are learning and what you are building. Okay, if you are into tech and you're able to secure some contracts and you build something nice for a client, you can just go and share it. That today I've built this back end, whatever that you have built for the person, and people will begin to follow you. Okay, when you are following a brand, it's not just because of that one particular post that they've made, but it's because of the consistency in how they share their story with you. That's why you are following them. Okay, and finally, align your story with your goals and audience. Okay, if you have a story, okay, most of us have a lot of experiences, right? This morning when I was coming to start, or when I was coming to the studio to join this meeting, I had an experience, but I'm not coming to share that online. Okay, because that experience does not align with my goals and my audience, even though it's an experience I had today when I was coming to the studio. But I'm not going to share it online. You'll not see me talking about it. So when we are talking about sharing your story and sharing your journey, you should also be mindful of the ones that align with your goals and your audience. So if you have built an audience around maybe public speaking, we don't want to see you sharing about which political party is achieving their policies or is doing best. Because the reason why people are following you is because they want to learn about public speaking. So the moment you begin to shift focus, it's going to affect your brand. So you should take note of how you can create your digital story with all these 3 points. Now, I mentioned this earlier, highlight your achievements. Some people, it is difficult for them to brag about what they are doing, because I mean they see it like, oh, it's a normal thing. I've just went here, nothing, like it's just a normal thing. But on social media, if you want to build a brand, it should not just be about the process. It should also be about the results. People want to see what you are achieving so that they can be inspired and follow you. So don't downplay your achievements, right? If you have taken a course today, go and post it. After this session, go and talk about it. When you are done with the entire sessions, talk about it. If you have achieved any, you have received any certification or whatever, talk about it. You are not just highlighting your achievement, or let me say, you are not just bragging, but you are telling people that you are working, and to inspire other people to follow you, and then you grow your network on social media, on digital platforms. Now, the last thing I'll talk about story is for you to be able to build an authentic voice. Okay, today with the emergence of AI and all the tools that makes it easier for people to post content and all that, people are lying. Okay, people are not going to the conferences, but they are talking about it. People are not showing results, they are just copy and pasting. That is not how we build a brand. Do you understand? So if I'm building a brand as how do you call it, a youth advocate, okay, and that is what I'm doing. One of the things I'm doing is to advocate for young people, policy and all those things. And I always post about this online, that government must do this for the young people. Like if you read my post online, you'll be convinced that this is a youth advocate. Then one day you invite me to come to a TV station or radio station to share my opinion, and I get there and I'm not able to perform. Do you get the narrative? I'm not able to speak to the issue like I do online. You realize that this person is just some imposter who is trying to be a youth advocate just online. But for me, whether you call me on TV, on radio, on a podcast, it is the same thing I'm coming to say. The same energy and the zeal that I'm using to speak online is the same thing you see me using to speak on the TV and radio. That is because I have built an authentic voice for myself. So when we talk about building an authentic voice, we are talking about you speaking your own tone and style. Don't try to be someone else, right? Everyone is taking. Just try and be yourself and you'll be fine. Share lessons, insights, and reflections about whatever you are doing, and be honest about your journey. Okay? When you go on LinkedIn, it's not everyone who is trying to be honest. Some are not really doing anything, but they just want to be active. So they are sharing everything that comes their way. But there are other people who are also sharing exactly what they are doing. That's being honest about your journey, right? Then sharing value-driven content. If you are building a brand for yourself, you should also know that one of the things you should be doing is sharing content that will bring value, that will attract people to your brand. Okay, so write posts, articles, or videos that can give people value. So let me give you an example. If you are a virtual assistant and you are on LinkedIn, the point of you sharing a value-driven content is that maybe at the end of the day, you are going to share about the need for companies or for individuals to have a virtual assistant. So you are going to list all the things that virtual assistants do and why they need it. Now, when I read that post, I'm not just seeing you as a virtual assistant, but I'm seeing you as someone who understands their work and is ready to bring value to whoever they are going to work with. That is the point about sharing value-driven content. So you should not just share things that you feel like sharing, but ask yourself, how does this give value to the people I'm sharing it with, right? So share your learnings and stories and build a thought leadership. There's something we call knowledge economy on social media, right? So you see people, all they do is to sit on podcasts and share ideas. And people are subscribing to their channels, people are buying their books and all that. When you begin to build your personal brand, you should not forget that one of the things you should do is to build yourself as a thought leader. Thought leader in the sense that when they are looking for young people to speak about youth empowerment, they should mention the name Prince Domenyo. When they are looking for people to talk about data analysis, they should mention you, because you are not just working as a data analyst, but you understand what you are doing and you can share knowledge and value in that system. That is what we call the knowledge system. So there are some people, they are not working. All they do is to share their knowledge and ideas, and people are paying to attend their conferences because they have built thought leadership in whatever capacity that they find themselves. So you should also be mindful of that it is one of the things that when you do it, your personal brands become attractive for people to follow and then buy whatever that you are selling to them. Now, I've mentioned a lot of things. I've taken you through examples and all that, and all you need to know about e-profile building, personal branding, using LinkedIn and all that. There are some common mistakes that you should avoid. I've mentioned some of them, but I'll just take you through this and then we'll be done soon. One, incomplete or outdated information. So you have an e-profile. You have stated in your biography that you are working with this company A, B, and C. After 2 years, you are no more working with the same company. So you should go back and change or update the information, update the verb, right? So if you stated that I am working as a research and teaching assistant after October 2025. The I am working should be changed to I worked as a research and teaching assistant. So that if someone read my profile after October 2025, where I will end my service as a research and teaching assistant, the person should not assume that I am still a research assistant. That is the point with incomplete and outdated information. You should always check your profile and know which of the things you stated that you are doing and you are not doing. So that anytime people read your profile, they will know that, oh, you have done this or you are doing it. Okay. Then inconsistent photos and messaging. I've mentioned that already. How to approach people, your pictures and all that, there should be consistency. Then inconsistency in messaging or tone. I've also spoken about that. Don't be, let me be practical in this case. Don't be a baddie on Snapchat and be a corporate, a corporate girl on LinkedIn and be a funny person on TikTok, and then on X, you are a gender person. You can't be everything just by you being an individual, okay? So the consistency in your messaging and tone is that whatever you are on all platforms, people should be able to understand, right? There is a line. You can have your private moments and all that, but your personal branding is public. That's what you should understand, okay? So if you are building a personal brand that is not about lifestyle or entirely about lifestyle, you should not be posting a lot of pictures when you go to the club or you go on dates or you go on vacations and all that. You could post 1 or 2 pictures to show that, yeah, you have traveled to this place. But your entire content should not be about the pictures you've taken on your recent dates. Because unless you are building a brand as a lifestyle content creator, that's fine. But if you are building a professional brand that is far from lifestyle, then you shouldn't be posting all those things. So that's what I mean about consistency in messaging. Now, my final thoughts. I will encourage everyone to be very intentional about their social media platform. For all of you here, I'm sure you have one platform or the other. After today, if you have not optimized it, go and optimize it. Because I don't know how to put it, but there are lots of opportunities that you can get from being online, okay? And I'm a living testimony. There are most of the things that you see me doing that is just a phone call, and just by saying that I saw you online and I know that you are doing this and I want to work with you. That's all. So you should get yourself out there. And the currency today is visibility. If you're able to be visible and project yourself, people will see you. Employers will even be calling you, right? So don't be like, oh, I'm not the social media type. And I mean, you cannot be, but you have to try to be. So try and get yourself out there once in a while. Share about what you are doing. Because even the Bible says that you cannot light a candle and put it under a bushel, or how they put that. Because the Bible understands marketing. So you should also know that whatever good thing you are doing, put it out there for people to appreciate it and value you. And the second thing is that you should be intentional. Okay? You should be intentional. If the picture you are posting, you know that this picture is not nice, don't go and post it. Right? Because you are building a brand. Okay? You are building a brand. So if you want to build a good brand, you should be intentional about whatever you put out there. Your content, your messages, your posts, your captions, your pictures, everything should be intentional, right? Then you should be consistent. Consistency doesn't mean that you should be posting every day. Like every day you are posting, every day you are posting. Your consistency should be that you are posting value every time. So if you decide to be posting once in a week, every week you are posting something valuable. If you are deciding to post once a month, you are posting something valuable. That is the kind of consistency I want you to have. And finally, be authentic. There are lots of people who are faking to be who they are not on social media. Don't be one of them. Because definitely people will meet you when they see you on social media. One day they will meet you, okay? And they will get to realize that, but you are not who you claim to be. don't be like one of those people. Just be as genuine as you can be. And that is what will attract people to you and what you do. So I believe so far we have gone through all that you need to know when it comes to building your e-profile, the platform to use, and how to build your personal brand. On this note, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask, or just type it in the comment section, and then I'll respond to it. Let me see, there is a
Hello,
question here
Prince.
that, hello,
Mr. Prince, please
hello,
can we get the slide? Hello, please
yeah, I
can we
can hear
get the
you.
slides?
Yes, please, I'll share it with the moderator.
Okay,
So
okay.
the moderator will share it with you, okay? So there's a question here that says, Prince, please, is it appropriate to have several profiles on the same platform demonstrating different qualities one has? Example, a corporate profile as an entrepreneur or an academic, and another profile on, say, platform, say LinkedIn. I will not advise that, okay? So if I get your question right, you are asking that, let's say you are one person, you are selling bread. At the same time, you are doing your PhD. At the same time, you have a laundry business that you are running. So you want to have a profile for one personality as a PhD candidate. You want to have another profile for one personality as a bread seller, and the last one for a laundry CEO. It's not advisable, right? I wouldn't advise you to do that. Just build one profile, and when people see you, they know that this is who you are, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are going to stand for one thing above any other thing, okay? That is what people will know you for. Let's use McDan, for example. McDan has a lot of companies, but when you check his LinkedIn profile, the only thing he's saying is that I think he's the president of McDan Group or something. That's it. And he's doing a lot of things, okay? So if you are confused about what to present to people, ask yourself that what is that one thing that I am doing that will forever be what I'll do. And that is why I mentioned that you should know your interest and passion. If it is your passion to one day be a lecturer, then people should know you as a lecturer who is a businessman, or a PhD student or aspiring lecturer who is a businessman. Do you get it? If it is your dream to become one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, then we should know you as an entrepreneur who is doing this and that and that, and at the same time pursuing his or her PhD. Then with that, we know that, oh, you are, like, how do you even call it? A rounded kind of personality. But don't go and create multiple accounts just to show the different things you are doing, right? Yeah, so any other question? Let me see. Okay, I've answered the one on the AI. Okay. Yeah, so if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask. Okay, thank you for the wonderful information shared.
Good evening. Hello,
Good.
good evening. Yes.
Hello, good evening.
I'm really happy to see because I once approached people, gave me a really good show. It's
Your
my
network is,
confidence. So
I can't.
when
Okay.
proof, hello, the pulse is good to
Hello.
a social measure.
I think I'm finding it difficult to hear you. If it is a network issue, you can type your question in the comments,
Hello,
because I can barely hear you.
hello.
Hello.
Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but not very clear.
Oh, that's all.
Okay. Please type your question, okay? Maybe you have a network challenge, so just type your question. This one says, my question is, in the beginning of your presentation, you said those of us that our names didn't show up by the end of the webinar, our names will be recognized. How can we be recognized? Is it through the e-profile, specifically portfolio? Because I'm okay, let me say I am on LinkedIn, but I didn't see my name when I search. Yes. So the comment I made that you be recognized is not going to happen by magic. My point is that the moment I'm done with the presentation, you should know what to do to be recognized. If you have listened and you've taken note of everything that I've shared, and you're able to optimize your LinkedIn, like the way I showed you mine, then when you search your name next time, it should be visible. I mean, you should see what you're about. So from here, you can go and check your LinkedIn since you are there already and see some of the things that you don't have. I will show you my LinkedIn account name so that you can go and check, compare, take inspiration from there to work on your own. And if you are going to build your portfolio too, you should work on that so that next time when you search your name, you can be seen. This one says, how do you remain consistent with different interests you showcase on social media? Example, you are focused on cybersecurity, sustainability advocacy, and history advocacy. Yes, so if these are your interests, okay, and you want to be consistent, it all comes down to what you'll be talking about. Do you get it? So how do you craft your message? You want to be talking about cybersecurity and sustainability advocacy. Are you looking at sustainability in terms of technology, in terms of the environment, or in terms what kind of sustainability are you looking at? When you're talking about history advocacy, which aspect of it? Do you get it? So, one, you can be sharing the content based on each of the interests you have. Two, you can find the connection in the interest so that when you share one content, we can see the different approaches that you are talking about, right? So let me give you an example. There are some lawyers on LinkedIn that they are lawyers, all right, but they are focused on maybe land law or immigration law. So whatever they share, whether it is under sustainability or advocacy, they are talking about immigration advocacy and sustainability. They are talking about immigration history and all that. Do you understand? That's how consistent they are. So everything they share, by the time you are done reading, you can see all the aspects in it. Okay? If you are someone like me that you are interested in research, leadership, youth engagement, policy, and advocacy, you can choose to be sharing different content on all of this, or you can find a connection with this. If I'm talking about policy and advocacy, it has to be backed by research. So my interest in research will inform the kind of policy I should advocate for. Do you get it? So when I go on TV to talk about rent issues and bed for all, I understand that these are major challenges that university students or the youth in Ghana are facing. So I'm asking the minister these questions, right? So my point is you can decide to post content on each of the interests, or you can just find the link with all of them and be talking about it. Do you get it? So that you don't end up posting a lot of content on different things, so that today you are talking about sustainability, tomorrow you are talking about history, then the next day you are talking about cybersecurity. You can ask yourself, how can I fuse cybersecurity into sustainability and talk about it as a one topic? Then you are good to go. Then the next question says, please, is it good to let someone manage your profile? Well, it depends on your personality and what you are doing. But if you are someone like me that you don't have so much to do, I would advise that you manage it yourself. Because you see, at this point, you are not just managing your profile, or you are not just on social media. You're on social media to build network, to connect with people that will help you to project your brand or give you opportunities. So if someone is managing your profile for you, How sure are you that the person will help you identify potential mentors and sponsors and people that you can learn from and connect with? Do you get it? But if Magdan is giving his account to someone to manage, I mean, it makes sense. Magdan is not looking for people to help him now. Maybe not in any financial capacity, but business partners. But you and I, we are looking for opportunities. So it is good that you manage your own account. You test people you have to test. When they respond, you respond on time, and then you are good to go. So if you are not too busy and too successful, please manage your account yourself, okay? Maybe from the beginning, the person can help you optimize it. That's a different thing. But after optimizing the account, you can take over and then manage it, okay? So yes, managing your account is good, provided you are having the time. If you're not having the time, fine. Okay, someone say connect with me on LinkedIn. Yes. Please, my question is, should you charge those people, especially the businessman, for any program they invite you, or is it free of charge? Are you asking me if I charge or is free? Definitely I'll charge, provided based on the person inviting me. I mean, if you're inviting me to come and speak, you're asking if I should charge you or I should do it for free. I'll charge you, okay? I'll charge you. But I mean, it depends. At my discretion to charge you or not. Because one of the things I want to do is that young people should reach their full potential. So if I'm touched to do it for free, why not? I'll do it. If I want to do it for financial gains too, I'll do it. My main objective is to make sure that the skills that young people need to acquire, they're also getting it, and that's all. So yeah, you can DM me or send me a direct message and we'll discuss the terms of that particular agreement. And once again, the slides, yes, I'll share the slides with the moderator and then you can have access to them. We have 7 minutes to close this particular session. I believe most of you are okay. Since no one is asking questions, you can unmute and ask your question if you have any question you want to ask. Yes, so if there is no question again, I thank you all for. Okay, did I hear something?
It was me, Prince.
Oh, okay. So I want to say thank you all for joining the call and listening. Like I said earlier, we are in the times of visibility. So be very intentional and appear online. That is my number, my social media usernames. You can text me or send me a message on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or X, and I'll respond to you for any personal or business affairs. Thank you all. And Francis, you can take over from here.
Thank you very much, Prince, for such an insightful session. I'm sure that participants have learned very well. And they am I audible enough? Yes, so I'm sure we've all learned something from the facilitator, Prince, and we all do well to also take whatever that he has taught us into consideration and then work on it to make ourselves better. So tomorrow will be our final session. It also come off between 4 and then 6. For all the people that have assignments, please do it so that the e-coaches can work on it. And please, when your e-coaches text you on the platform, please mind them. Okay, they are human beings. I beg you. And please your friends that have not been joining the sessions, kindly let them know that if they do not join the sessions, they will not be able to get certification for all the sessions that has taken place. Okay, so that is it. Good evening and see you all tomorrow. For the people that don't have e-coaches, kindly send on the platform. Just type your name on the platform, and then let's see. For the people that do not have e-coaches, kindly text on the platform so that we see how we can work. We will open the platform for people to text on it. Then we see how we can allocate you to an e-coach quickly. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.